So there is something that's happening right now that is highly concerning. And experts are telling us that a war is imminent. And it's imminent because of all the increased tensions that we are currently facing around the world. The United States is involved in many of these increased tensions, which is an extreme cause for concern for us here in the United States. Some say we will experience an attack here in 2024. Others say this attack may wait until 2025, but an attack will happen. Now, hopefully that's not the case, but I want to break down what is going on, why experts say war is imminent, and what this means for you and I. All I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So the first thing that you need to know when it comes to war is many experts predicted that we were going to experience a wider war once this October 7th attack between Hamas and Israel happened. Well, they were predicting about 10%. A wider war would happen, but it was only going to be about a 10% chance. Here's how things have changed over the past 2 months. We've gone from 10% to just shy of 35%. So a chance of a wider war has more than tripled. This is concerning, but this is the reason why. First, we have the Yemen Houthis. They continue to attack ships in the Red Sea. Because of that, the United States and 18 other countries decided to put together a force in the Red Sea. They're calling it Operation Prosperity Guardian. Now, in this operation, these 19 countries are trying to protect commercial vessels. Well, the United States did just that just a few days ago. What we saw were the United States had 2 helicopters sink Houthi boats, took the lives of about 10 crew members. This happened in the Red Sea. Well, Iran isn't happy about this, neither are the Houthis. What we know is that the Houthi group continues to hammer ships in the Red Sea. This is where other countries are trying to step forward and sending in additional Navy vessels to protect these commercial ships. Because right now the Red Sea goes up to the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal contributes 15% of global shipping. So if we want to make sure that our supply chains don't get disrupted, we have to protect the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, which is exactly what these countries are trying to do. However, just the other day, we learned that Iran was sending an Iranian warship into the Red Sea to protect their own interests, which are the Houthis. So, just that alone is increasing tensions, and some experts predict we are going to see a wider war very soon, and we could see this Iranian warship and other destroyers go at it in the Red Sea. Now that would be disturbing. So that's one of the increased tensions. Another one is Russia says Ukraine resorted to a terrorist attack, but that terrorist attack was in response to Russia launching 100 missiles into Ukraine on New Year's Day. 100 missiles. Those 100 missiles took the lives of more than 30 people, and there were extreme casualties in about 150. When Ukraine responded with their own attack to Russia, well, that took the lives of about 10 people. So, much different, but it still took the lives of civilians. And Russia says they will respond. That right there is increasing the chances of a wider war. It's going to pull in more countries, and some expect the United States is going to get pulled further and further into this war between Russia and Ukraine. We also know on the northern border of Israel, Israel continues to hammer Gaza. And just the other day, they were able to take the life of a Hamas leader. See it right here. It says Hamas leader lost his life in Beirut, was a linchpin of relations with Iran and Hezbollah. It says Israel, which hasn't officially claimed responsibility for Tuesday's taking of a life, is on high alert for retaliatory strikes. That is what we are anticipating. We are simply waiting. This happened yesterday. So we are less than 24 hours from that time. Well, guess what? Some are saying that these attacks are going to happen and they are being prepared. Israel is preparing to be attacked because they know this is going to play a major role. Now, there's another issue. It has to do with Iraq and Syria. Because in Iraq and Syria, Iranian proxies continue to try and hit U.S. troops. And they're trying to hit bases. The United States has responded to some, but according to Pentagon officials, the options that they've given President Biden, he hasn't really used. They've given him options to attack certain places and people, but President Biden has only chose to attack ammo dumps, command posts, right? Almost empty buildings. That is what we are attacking. So some say if President Biden doesn't step it up, yes, a war is going to happen because U.S. troops are going to lose their life. And that's a problem. Now, something else happened just this morning. Look at this. Iran says at least 73 people lost their life. 170 people were wounded in blasts at a ceremony honoring a slain general. This happened this morning in Iran. I want to read you a little bit of this, okay? It says, 2 explosions minutes apart, which was about 15 minutes apart, Wednesday in Iran targeted a commemoration for a prominent general slain in a U.S. drone strike in 2020 that took the lives of at least 73 people, wounded 170. Others, as the Middle East remains on edge over Israel's war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Now, no group claimed responsibility for this. However, this was not an incident. And we know this is not an incident because of, well, for one, the nature of it. When it happened, it was during a commemoration ceremony. All right? So that right there is somewhat interesting. But the other part is these explosives, one happened, and then the next one was about 15 minutes after that. The reason why terrorists normally do this is because the first one sends a little bit of people into chaos. But then when first responders come, now the next one 15 minutes later, that's the reason why, because now it's taking the lives of all those people that were in the area, but also the first responders, which creates even further chaos. And so this is what we're hearing, is that we don't know exactly who did this, but the fact that this was this was in Iran, okay? This was in Iran, which who is funding Hamas? Iran is. Who's funding the Houthis? Iran is. Who is funding Hezbollah? Iran is. These are Iranian-backed proxies. This is the reason why some are saying that we are getting closer and closer to a world war. Okay? Then just let that sink in for a moment. They say war is imminent. However, how big the war could potentially be, that's in question. All I can tell you right now is worldwide tensions are increasing, especially after more and more countries are calling these strikes terrorist attacks. What happened today, okay, when in this one right here, where Iran says 73 people lost their lives. In this, that were 2 explosions. They're calling this a terroristic attack. The same thing, Russia called out Ukraine and said that was a terrorist attack. Ukraine has called out Russia multiple times, saying it is a terrorist attack. So right now, people throwing out this phrase could be concerning. I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on at this time, because the problem is the United States is likely going to get drug into this entire war, whether it's with Russia and Ukraine, whether it's Israel and Hamas, which according to reports, we are looking closer to the end of that war. So we could already be over halfway through it. So chances are this will end in the next month or two, which would be good. But other tensions are increasing, especially with Iran. But according to reports, Iran and these different Iranian-backed proxies are only attacking Israel, the United States, right, and other groups because we are supporting Israel. And Israel keeps on attacking Hamas. So if that ends, all these other tensions could end as well. But the concern is these tensions may increase too quickly, which would cause a war sooner. So as we get more information there, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.